Hey there, Hat-Tricks fans. I'm Kristin O'Connell, and I am here today with our president and owner, Herm Sorcher, and our GM, AJ Galante, and we are here to talk about all things Alumni Night. Herm, why don't you take the honors and let everybody know what we've got in store for Alumni Night?
So, I mean, this is without a doubt my favorite night of the year. And look, I'm always going to say, I'm never going to start this. I am never going to start this interview or talking about the Alumni Night. Nothing alumni ever happens without Jim and Candace Galante. Without Jim and AJ Galante.
Oh, man.
Nothing ever happened. Because seriously, what you guys did in 2004, that's the start of it. I'm getting chills. I seriously will never stop getting chills. I get chills every time. And this is what it's about. Your family had a vision. You took a recreational rink and you built it into a minor league mecca, must-see building of hockey. 16 hockey seasons later, 20 calendar years later, whatever it is, we're talking about bringing people back in here. And it's all because of your family, because of, these guys, the Trashers. So nothing ever is spoken about without, you just have to start with that. So, look, Alumni Night is a great night. I love it because so many people come back into the building, whether you're a player, a coach, an owner, a management, a stick boy, a concession worker, whoever, whatever. We want to hear from you. We want you to take in this night. We want you to come out on the ice. We want to recognize you. We want the fans to give you some applause. And, every year we have a few special twists. So this one, there's 2 members going into the Ring of Honor, which are, we'll get into those guys, but Frank Bialowas and Julian Frasier, both phenomenal stories here, both left incredible marks in the city. Dave McIsaac, who's already in the Ring of Honor, is playing, he will be playing in the game as a celebrity contract player. And then Steve Brown, we are retiring his number, 16 with the Whalers, 44 with the Titans, 44 with the Hat-Tricks. And, Steve has the most games of any player as a player / coach / whatever, the most games of anyone. So it's a great night. And we've got some of the alumni coming back in. Still time for anyone to register. But it's a fantastic night to just, rekindle, those relationships and really salute the past, the history of what it's been. How about that? What do you think?
The first Alumni Night I came to when you invited me years ago, I wasn't involved with the Hat-Tricks, and I was just blown away then, with just, like you said, getting chills. I'm not really like that, but when, we got there, it just was unbelievable. It kind of teleported me back to the old days, I guess we'll call it. And I agree. It's every year. It's really like I mark it on the calendar. I tell my family and friends, I'm like, you got to be here. And I think the wrinkle of Big Mac, Dave McIsaac playing, gonna be unbelievable. Because like you said, he is in the Ring of Honor, and it's just great. It's really a great night. The game's going to be awesome, obviously. We're in a heated playoff hunt, and, against Port. It's going to be it's probably going to be the biggest one yet, I think.
It's got great potential. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's fun every night. And look forward to seeing everybody, for sure.
So why don't you get started telling me a little bit about some of the inductees into the Ring of Honor? We'll start with Frank Bialowas, the animal, who played for the Danbury Trashers. Give me a little bit of insight on that.
I mean, again, we're going back 22 years, and Frank, as a hockey fan myself 22 years ago, I mean, I knew who he was, in the minor league, fight circuits and just being the animal. And with his hair, I always called him the Undertaker because he looked like the Undertaker from WWF. And actually, I give credit to Dave McIsaac, actually, who they were teammates for years and extremely close to this day. And when Dave McIsaac was on our team that first year, and we were looking to stir some things up one weekend, he says, "Hey, why don't you call the animal up?" And I'm like, I didn't put two and two together at the time that they had played. I'm like, you could get Frank Bialowas here? He's like, yeah. He called him up. My dad talked to him, and yeah. I mean, he became an attraction for the Trashers those 2 years. He was kind of at the end of his career. He wasn't really trying to be a full-time player. It's a shame we didn't have the Trashers in his prime because it would have been a match made in heaven, but he became an attraction in that he'd play maybe once a month or so, and when he was coming, it was kind of like, oh man, the Animals coming to town, and it became such a fun little niche thing, you know what I mean? Whenever he was coming, a big attraction.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did you guys actually, you played The Undertaker's entrance music for him, right?
Yeah, so when we
that is some iconic music.
So yeah, for warm-ups, what we would do is, you know, kind of like there's a hockey tradition when there's a rookie making his pro debut, he's like the first one out. Frank, and he never really wanted to do it, but we would send Frankie out first, you know, for warm-ups and play, you know, you hear that gong and from The Undertaker. And,
did you turn the lights off too?
Yes, we did. Well, we got a little more sophisticated. As it went on, we started working. I mean, the arena wasn't as sophisticated as it is now, so it took a couple games for the guys to figure out how the lights work here, but now it's all good. But, you know, it was always fun watching him because he had his hair and he'd be skating and would never be taking any shots. He's just skating, and you know, it was just it just became a big part of the Trasher history when he would come to town.
I only know Frank from just Jim and AJ when they've had him come up to Danbury. He was here. Actually, I think for the first Alumni Night, you had Mac. Your dad brought Mac and Frank up. So
That's right, he was here.
Yeah, that was the first time I met him, and then, you know, I got to just meet him through some other follow-up events. But Frank's an unbelievable guy, and you know, just speaking to him with this, it's amazing. Here you got a guy who played, you know, a couple games in the NHL, great history in the American Hockey League, you know, legendary fighter, and I really think he's like, hey, this is a big thrill, this is a big honor, and like I love it when the guys buy into it. I mean, they're not like, you know, I believe they really take it seriously, and the time in Danbury, you know, you could be an NHL level guy, or you could be, you know, one of the bottom guys on the roster. Universally, they all love their time in Danbury, and it's something they look back on fondly.
And he's right, because when we talked to Frank, you know, my dad and Herm had talked about this year's honorees, and you know, we came up with Frank, and it's true. I mean, Frank played, you know, in the NHL, and he's in the American Hockey League, you know, the Philly Phantoms Hall of Fame and stuff, but I can tell this is a big deal for him. Like, I talked to him the other day, and he's he's all excited, and it's true. Danbury has become, I tell kids this all the time, it's like to have Danbury, you know, that stamp in your passport book, it goes a long way for your career. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And there's a lot of guys on the team now that you know, they're excited to say they play here, and with everything that's gone on the past 20-something years here. So Frankie's definitely jacked up, and I'm surprised he didn't want to be a celebrity contract too, because he's still in shape. Might have a shift or two in him,
I don't know
but
if Lee would have approved both those guys. That would have been great.
But who knows? Maybe next year. Maybe that becomes a tradition. The Ring of Honor guys, and next year they play.
There you go.
It's a good idea. We'll see.
That could be the way to go for sure.
So our second inductee into the Danbury Ring of Honor is Julian Frasier, and he was a Danbury Whalers player. And Herm, you had a lot of experience with him.
I love this guy. Look, what a story this guy has. I'll just start from the beginning. We had our coach, Phil Esposito, and he was from New Haven. So he's like, hey, I want to play a preseason exhibition game in New Haven. I want to bring it back to the rink, let the youth hockey program sell tickets. I was like, great, sounds good. You know, it made sense for us. So we played an exhibition game there, and Julian is trying out for the team. And these kids in the stands are going nuts. They're like, Julian. And I'm like, who is this guy? I was like, what's going on here? What's happening? And he just, you know, he had the mullet. He's got the missing tooth. Yeah. He got into fights. I mean, he had a decent record fighting. You know, he wasn't the all-time heavyweight here. Not. You know, he definitely did. He did well. But the fans loved him, and he was part of our championship team in 2013. He played here 3 years. He won the most popular player 3 straight years. And, you know, when we talk about guys who've been the most popular player, who's, you know, we always say, hey, who's the best player? Who's the best fighter? Who's the most popular? I don't think you could have a conversation and say, name the top 5 guys, most popular players. Julian's in that conversation. He might be number 1. I mean, look, you probably got to say Wingfield for the Trashers.
Well, listen, we always say there's a Mount Rushmore. It's hard to narrow down just one guy
Just
here.
for popularity.
Yeah,
I mean, fans love him.
I mean, you almost have like a Mount Rushmore of guys and almost like the eras of Danbury hockey. And I mean, even though I wasn't involved with the Whalers, I even knew the name. You know what I mean? That's how much his name would go around town. Like, oh, you know, the Danbury, the team in Danbury, now the Whalers, they got this kid, Julian. Even I, you know, when I was so out of the loop, I even knew, you know, Julian's name.
Julian was so popular. He was a good player. He's like 6'4", 200 pounds or whatever he was. So he had a big presence. But, you know, he was just a great guy with all the fans. And they gravitated to him. They loved him. And, you know, 3 straight years, most popular player. So, you know, the interesting twist to him is once the Whalers the lease was over here and we were, you know, no more, he went to play in Port Huron for the Prowlers, and he won a championship with them. And then that's it. So 2016, no one has really heard from him.
I was going to get to that. I was going to say, he's like a missing person right now.
Right? He is. He's on Instagram.
But he hasn't posted in a while. He hasn't posted in like 2 years.
It's very strange. So number one, I hope he is in good health. I believe he has a wife and kids. But even guys who were great friends with him on the team that I knew to be close with him, they have not been able to locate him. So we've posted in some like key groups of, you know, hockey in Canada or ball hockey in Canada or, you know, whatever place you could possibly look. It's not for lack of trying. We've not located him. So the twist is that, look, this guy should be up there. We want to honor him. So I'm waiting for my phone to ring. Again, I'm getting these shows again. I'm waiting for my phone to ring. I'm waiting for a phone call. I'm waiting for an email or a message. Say, hey, Herm, I just heard about this. I love it. I want to be there. So Julian Frasier from Alberta, Canada, Calgary, wherever you are, please reach out to someone in Danbury, Connecticut. Let us know you're okay. Let us know how you're doing. We want to get you here. We want the crowd to stand up and cheer for you. You deserve it. You gave this community so many thrills. We want to honor you. Your name is going on that wall. I hope somehow this message gets to you. And you know you are absolutely beloved in this city.
All right, so we have a special celebrity signing, Dave McIsaac. AJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Another guy, Philly guy, played Philly Phantom. I mean, just again, I forgot they came up together that one Alumni Night, Frankie and Big Mac. And Dave McIsaac, I mean, he was a captain for us our second season, but the first season he kind of came onto the scene and kind of what Herm alluded to with Julian Frasier, just people just gravitated to him. And, you know, he was just an unbelievable defenseman, big guy, could play the game, could fight, could do everything. You know, he's what you call a Danbury guy, I guess. I mean, he was just an unbelievable guy. I mean, we've stayed in contact, you know, for 20-something. Just an amazing person, amazing family. And my dad and him have always been super close as well. But just an old school tough guy, you know what I mean? But again, could play. That's, you know, like Julian Frasier too. Like, these guys could play the game too. And that's what I think people always were drawn to them, how it was like two sides of the coin. You know what I mean? One minute he's smiling and he's got, you know, that toothpaste commercial smile. And then next thing you know, he's a raging lunatic. So Dave is the best. And, you know, it's going to be great seeing him out there, and it's going to be fun. I think it's a perfect game for him to be in as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mac, yeah, look, I love Mac. I got to meet him in 2008 when I was involved with the Eastern Professional Hockey League, and I just love the guy. I mean, he was a national champion at the University of Maine with Paul Correa. He's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Played 14 years professional hockey. He was the coach for the Mad Hatters, coach for the Danbury Hat Tricks. What I love about Mac is, he was a captain for 7 years or 7 teams. So it just shows like what a guy he was, what a person. And just like talking to him about this event and what it's going to be, he can't wait to be here. He's like he's just like fired up about what we got going on, and he's talking about like, hey, what are we doing after the game? What are we doing Sunday morning? I'm trying to convince him, hey, can we go to brunch on Sunday? He's got his schedule, but just an unbelievable guy and beloved in this city.
So Herm, we've only retired one other jersey in this building previously. And this year at our Ring of Honor and Alumni Night ceremony, we plan to retire Steve Brown's jersey.
Yeah. So Steve Brown is already, he's already in the Ring of Honor. He is, I think, again, I'm not looking at the numbers right now, but I believe coming into this year, he had the most games connected to the teams with the Whalers, the Titans, and the Hat Tricks as either a player or a coach. Steve is in the Ring of Honor, but this is really like, as we were discussing the year and just thinking about some ideas, it just kind of came up like, hey, Steve has such a mark on this city, like on the ice, off the ice, and people just love him. I mean, again, we left him out of the conversation. He is one of the most popular players.
It's true.
Unsung popularity, but he's up there. And just, what a great guy. What an absolutely phenomenal human being. Like, just the time he has given the fans and the community and the relationships he's developed, it's been unreal. So we just started talking, and then it kind of came up with Steve, like, hey, we're gonna do this. And when we told him, he was like, wow, he was blown away. He was another guy. He was like really pumped. I mean, here's a guy who's won 2 championships in this city, and this still meant a lot to him, and his family will be here. I'm not sure on the full guest list, but Steve has a young son, and like
it's a memory that son will never forget.
Yeah, for his son to see and hear,
huge.
Hey, this is who my dad is and what he accomplished here. That's unbelievable. Like I would just be blown away by that. So I can't wait to see it. So Steve will have his night, his second night, but it's well deserved. And look, there's no rules. There's no, hey, you can't do this, you did that. You know what? No, Steve, this is what we want to do. We want to do it for Steve. So the banner's gonna look awesome. It's got the 16 and then it's got the 44, and it's in the team colors, and I love it. So yeah, I'm just like, Steve is one of those guys. He is. You just see him and you're like, you feel great, and I can't wait to see him in the building on Saturday.
All right. So Herm, tell me about the first period intermission ceremony that'll be taking place.
So look, the alumni comes to the game. The gates open at 6:00. There's pregame parties all over the place. The guys will be in the suite. They'll be in the axe tricks. They'll be by the band. But then at the end of the first period, this is where we ask all the alumni who is in town to come down to the penalty box, and then we announce them one by one, and they walk out to center ice. Now look, in the past, we've kind of just said walk to center ice. This year, I am going to make sure we put everybody on the center ice circle. I'm going to have someone organizing that there. So they'll come out, we'll introduce, there's no particular order, for the start. Then as we finish, we'll finish with the 4, well, Mac will probably be in the locker room. Maybe he'll stay out, I don't know, but we'll finish with the 4 guys who are being honored. And then like in true Yankee Stadium Old Timers Day, I love this. Look, when the Yankees had Old Timers Day, it didn't matter who was there, okay? Joe DiMaggio was always the last one as the greatest living Yankee. So AJ and Jimmy
will be the
Or,
last.
I never say Jim. I always say Jim. I don't know why. I think I'm the only guy that does that. AJ and Jim Galante will be the last two. And, you know, this year, it was actually your dad's idea. He wants Phil Jubileo, who's also in the Ring of Honor, who's the Trashers announcer.
Okay.
He wants, he has a clip coming of some videos of Frank the Animal fighting, and he wants Phil to deliver that and then do the intro. So the last two guys will be AJ and Jim Galante. And, you know, they'll make their way out into that center circle, and then there'll be some great pictures. But it's just an unbelievable moment. Like, it really is. Like, I love it every year. And I think about all the guys who participated and all the people. And it's like such a tribute to them. And, you know, the current team is playing. They're in the locker room. I get that. But this is about the past and whatever you contributed in the past. It's going to be pretty cool. It really is.
I mean, you could honestly say that Danbury hockey would not be where it is today without all of these people who came before the team right now.
Yes.
Like, they would not have the stands packed if it wasn't for these previous teams and these previous players that built that legacy up.
100%. Yeah.
I'm sad that the team isn't going to be able to come out and watch it, but I totally get that.
What I would the way I always say it is, you know, there's 5 teams. There's 5 teams that have played in Danbury. Every team contributed something, whether it was, you know, this much or whatever it was. Every team contributed something, but again, none of it happens without the Galante family and the Trashers, and you know,
it's always been about passing the torch, you know, like a relay race. Whether you went a mile or 10 miles, as long as the torch is being passed. And, you know, I'm just honored and proud to be part of it and just see everything that's come of it and, you know, what's to come in the future, too. So it's going to be great.
Well, you know, look, you talk about great moments in the Alumni Night. The first night we did it with Jim and AJ to come out at a pro hockey game in this city for the first time. So this was in 2019. And for them to come out for the first time since 2005 or 6, whatever it was.
6, yeah.
That was a great moment. Like, I was just like, wow, this is so real. And it was, now the only thing is you wore a Yankee hat that night.
Yes, I made sure. I got a black Yankee hat to make sure it matched the trash.
There's no wardrobe situation, but whatever. But it was great. Now, what did that mean to you? Like, what was that?
Well, like I said, it was an honor to be considered, and when we spoke about it, and to, you know, go in with my father, and I was excited, but once you get there, you know what I mean? It's definitely different, you know, and it means a lot. And like you said, you know, my son will be here this year. He's 3.5, so it's like, you know, I've been lucky to be part of, you know, pretty much every Alumni Night, but this year it hits a little different for me because I know he'll be there watching, and you know, it is a very special honor.
Does he have a Trashers jersey?
Surprisingly, no. He's got shirts and stuff, but you know, it's coming because he's growing like a weed, and
okay,
it's
that
like,
makes sense then.
I'm gonna get him one this coming fall, and then when he grows out, my daughter will maybe have it
You
after.
get him all 3, or you get him the black. What do you go with?
I'll probably go. You know, he's a very fashionable kid, so he might want all 3, and he can match with his shoes, and you know, we'll see how it goes. But
what number do you think he's going to want on the back?
Well, I did get him a Yankee jersey, and it's number 22 because he was born on September 22nd. So I put number 22 on there. So maybe that'll be his number. Who knows?
Who's 22 on the Yankees?
We took them.
This year? Well, it was Soto, and you guys took him. And,
Well, he made a choice. It was his.
well, I don't know. I think he's got buyer's remorse, but
no.
But I don't know. It's 22 now. It used to be Clemens. So, but yeah, it's funny when I was customizing. I'm like, what number do I give? So I'll give him 22. So
see, now I love the black Trashers jersey.
blue is the blue is the most underrated one. Everyone just automatically goes to the black, but the blue definitely is. It's a good one.
The blue looks good. Look, it's
Even the white ones. I mean, you know, it's kind of vanilla,
Yeah.
but the white ones are nice. But people just, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the Raiders, classic black.
Yeah, exactly.
But
what do you think about the white here?
well, I was going to ask you if you had any extras because I don't have a
is
Whaler one.
Look, this is a 30. I
Yeah.
actually was communicating with this guy. This is a Luke Warner jersey, number 30.
Yeah.
Luke wore 33, and I think he wore 52 or 54 for the Whalers. He was a big time heavyweight for us. Actually, I shouldn't say heavyweight. He was like a middleweight who could crush everybody. He was tough, and like
those jerseys are awesome. The
these are
Whaler
good.
ones.
I like wearing. To me, I like the green. The white is good.
I like the
blue.
white with the color
clean.
scheme. The white's nice.
It's a beauty. You know, Dom Alessandro specials.
Yep.
And Dom is in the Ring
best.
of Honor.
Yeah.
He did a great job for
Absolutely.
all those. So it's going to be a great night, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, we are encouraging anybody who has ever worked in this arena or been part of previous teams to sign up on the registration page on our website. It'll be linked down below as well. And come on out on Saturday night and join us for Danbury's Alumni Night.